Hi guys, welcome back to Dave's Game Room. It's another episode of Dave and Mike Reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at GT64 on the Nintendo 64. Back with me again is the main man. Mike, how's it going, mate?
Hey Dave, how you doing? Hey guys.
Yeah, doing pretty well, mate. So,
Cool.
GT64, is this a game that you've heard of and played?
It's a game I've heard of, never seen any footage, never played it, never really heard anything about it, so this is going to be really interesting.
So, just a very quick backstory from me as to why I've chosen GT64. Back in the day, I had a good friend of mine, he was Nintendo mad, so he had a 64. Some of my other friends in our circle of friends had PlayStations and we were playing Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
He said to me, you've got to get an N64 because Gran Turismo is coming out on the 64. This is what he was referring to, and I'm sorry to say this, Richard, but you were wrong.
Yeah, this isn't part of the Gran Turismo series, is it?
It's completely separate. In fact, this is a game based off the Japanese Grand Touring Championship.
Gran Touring, yeah, of course, because Gran Turismo is specific, isn't it? It's exclusive to Sony PlayStation.
It is, yeah. Polyphony Digital is a Sony-specific brand, isn't it, I think, or developer. So here we are, Mike, straight into it, and you're going to start to see why I've picked this game and why in our promo I said it was awful.
Yeah, okay.
So here we go, racing off down towards the first couple of corners. You can see I'm in a Unisia Jack Skyline and
Oh dear.
Oh my word. The handling in this game is as slippery as a fish.
That was dodgy.
A wet fish.
Yeah. A jelly deal. Not a jelly deal, an eel.
An eel.
As slippery as an eel. Yeah, this looks bad, mate. I've got to say, this looks really bad.
Yeah, graphically, it highlights what I've said before about the N64 and the rather funky anti-aliasing that Nintendo use, mate. It makes this game look like a horrible smeared mess of colour.
It just looks utter dog chod, doesn't it? I mean, what was the reception like of this game in the media?
It got critically panned, mate, I'm afraid, this one. And it's the very last game to be published by Ocean Software, Mike.
Ocean used to love the games they made on the Spectrum and later on the Amiga and the Atari ST. Fantastic publisher.
Agree, yeah. I played some on the Commodore 64 that they published and NES as well as the Amiga like yourself.
Yeah, I was just going to say so many good titles by Ocean, so it's a shame they're behind this.
I agree, mate. So, I mean, I like a good racer. You know I do, Mike. But this one, I would advise everybody to steer well clear of.
Not even worth going back for nostalgia purposes?
Not at all, mate, not at all. Unless you really somehow did like this game. If this was your cup of tea, maybe go back to it if you've got a 64 or whatever. But no, if you're a casual racer like yourself, like I've become, I'd avoid this like the plague, even if you've got a 64 lying around, personally.
Yeah, could you plug in 4 controllers for this and have 4 players at the same time?
I think you could, yeah. I think this was a 4-player game. Do you know, that was one thing I loved about the 64, was the fact you could just do that. No multi-taps or any of that kind of crap.
Mario Kart was amazing, Rainbow Road, 4 of you playing together, incredible.
It was fantastic. And GoldenEye too, 4 of you. Do you remember the Golden Gun mode? Golden Gun mode, sorry.
Yeah,
do you remember that?
one-shot kill, classic mode.
It was brilliant. So we will cover a good N64 game, guys. Honestly, we will. It won't all just be dodgy ones.
Yeah, because there were plenty of good games, but so far we've just looked at the chart.
Well, Pilot Wings was okay, but yeah.
Pilot Wings looks fun. Pilot Wings looks fun, but yeah, this is bad. So this was exclusive Nintendo 64. Did they ever make it on the GameCube?
I don't think they did, mate. I think this literally was the only game of this GT series, and that was it. I think this was so bad and critically panned, and let's be honest, what do you know about Japanese GT racing? Because I know nothing, and I'm a racing fan.
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. That tunnel, it's been pitch black inside.
Yeah, you can barely see anything, can you, when you go in there? It looks ridiculous. So, guys, at the moment, all I'm doing is qualifying, and you have to complete the 3 laps, if my memory serves me correctly.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely ridiculous. So again, Mike, I'm trying my best on this game. Honestly, I'm not trying to make it look bad. It's just bad.
How many AI cars do you race against?
Off the top of my head, I can't remember. I think it might be 11.
Really?
I can't remember. We'll see when we get there. But one of the complaints about the graphics, guys, maybe not 100% how it looks, but the frame rate, Mike. Oh my god, it makes this game virtually unplayable.
It was abysmal. The Nintendo 64 could handle much better than that, couldn't it?
It definitely could, and I was wrong when I said 11 AI cars. It's actually 7. It's just shown me.
Right, okay. That's still decent though, considering the age of the game. But Let's see how this plays.
Yeah,
then.
let's see how it goes. So you've got a rolling start, which I hate rolling starts. I prefer to do it off the start line, to be honest.
Yeah, so do
Prefer
I.
to do it off the grid, and off we go. So the physics as well, when you collide with other cars, is pretty poor. You're going to see I'm going to go offside and sideways again.
Oh god.
This game is just drab.
So your mate liked this, did he?
No, my mate was one of those people that, you know, thinks that something's more superior, so therefore you have to have it. And he always said to me, the 64's way better, Dave. It's 64-bit. It's not 32-bit. What are you doing? Kind of thing.
Way better than the PlayStation.
That's what he's referring to, I'm guessing, when he's talking about 32 bits. Yeah, he was wrong, of course, because it wasn't.
I preferred the PlayStation as a console every single day of the week.
Yeah, me too. There were just so many good AAA titles on the PlayStation, and even the average ones were still good anyway.
Yeah, definitely. But this is... I couldn't even sort of play this for 10 minutes and have fun. It looks so bland.
Yeah, I completely agree, Mike, and to be honest, I struggled to play it for 10 minutes when I recorded it.
Yeah.
This is really bad.
What are the tracks like? Are they sort of varied courses to race on?
Yeah, they are. I managed to find a really awesome street circuit, which was interesting, a lot more interesting than this one. So yeah, there are some variations in tracks. I'm not sure if they're real tracks, though. I've got to be honest, I've not really looked into this game that much.
This reminds me of the attempt at Forza's... Obviously, Forza's a newer game. The Italian track. Remember that?
Oh, you mean was it the Amalfi Coast?
Amalfi Coast. I loved that.
Because you've been there, haven't you? You've actually been to Amalfi.
I have. It's stunning. It's an absolutely stunning place, and they got it spot on in Forza. This reminds you of that a little bit, but I mean that's all it's got going for it at the moment. It looks difficult to play. It looks sluggish. It feels slow, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, and that's partly down to the frame rate being so bad. But as you've already said, Mike, a lot of the 64 games had this same problem. Why was that, do you think? I know I'm probably asking a bit of a daft question, but why was that?
Probably just because it was a bit shit.
You think it was really that bad on the inside then?
I don't know, mate. I don't know what was under the bonnet on the Nintendo 64. I quite liked my Nintendo 64, to be honest. But looking at most games now that on the 64, they've aged badly. Nearly all the games I see look shit.
Yeah, and it doesn't help when you try and play an N64 these days that Nintendo took out RGB, which is one of the best ways to get video out of a console, even a retro machine these days. What were they thinking, taking RGB out? What were they thinking?
I don't know. And again, I wasn't keen on the old Nintendo 64 controller thinking about it.
No, and this game, also, the controls are really bad because the analog stick is too sensitive, Mike.
Yeah, it's a really short analog stick as well, wasn't it, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, it wasn't very nice, and it felt flimsy, if you remember rightly too.
Yeah, it did. It's a shame because the Super Famicom and the Super NES, the controller was spot on for playing races with, like Mario Kart, and then they sort of went backwards with their designs of controllers since.
They did, didn't they? Because after this we had the GameCube controller that was really awful. Oh my god. Yeah. Even the design of the GameCube was awful, let's be honest with ourselves. We've already said that in our Christmas special, haven't we? Yeah, so, yeah, guys, this game, if you need a racing game, if you want to go and play a racing game from the 90s, this should be the furthest point from your list possible, really, Mike. So, just a quick one then. I know it's slightly off topic from GT64. Can you remember what one of your favourite racing games was from the PlayStation era?
F1.
Oh, F1, the original F1.
Yeah, absolutely loved it.
That was one I covered recently in my Formula 1 games, good and bad video. Did you see that, Mike?
That's right. Yeah, I saw it the other day, mate. Brilliant video. That for me. What about yourself?
For me, yeah, it was F1 97, which was the if you like, the sequel to F1 that you really liked.
Oh, that's what I meant, mate. F1 97. That's the exact game. Is that the one with Murray Walker still did the commentary?
Yeah, and this time he had Martin Brundle with him, and it was the 97 season.
That's the one I meant, F1 97. What a game that was. I loved the view, the camera angle. It was a fantastic view in it to play.
I loved it too. And even the cockpit view, do you remember that you had to take the tear off?
Stunning.
It was amazing.
Stunning, absolutely stunning game. It was classic. What I mean, but then think of the Nintendo 64. I can't think of a lot of races I played on Mario Kart.
Yeah,
really, and that was brilliant. Mario Kart 64 was brilliant.
and I think I might have played Beetle World Tour, which was a Volkswagen Beetle game, and that was pretty.
I remember.
Yeah,
that.
that was pretty shit as well. I thought, Mike.
Yeah, I remember that. It was a bit dodge.
Right, guys, so coming soon on Dave and Mike Reviews, we're going to be taking a look at a special request, Bloody Raw, on the GameCube, aren't we, Mike?
Yeah, we are. We're going to get Laura, my wife, on it. It was her favourite game.
So that's going to be a fantastic one. So, guys, thanks for watching. Mike, thanks for doing the video, mate.
Thanks, guys. Take care of yourselves.